video, we are going to be doing a review on an e-bike that is worth over $1,000, which I have never done on this channel before.
But surprisingly, under $2,000.
So when a company called Vanpowers hit me up to do a review on this bike, I was super excited. Having said that, in today's video, we are going to be testing this bike on-road, off-road, on crazy obstacles, all sorts of crazy stuff.
You're crazy.
And I've got a team behind me that I'll introduce you guys to here in a second. Super excited for this one. You are not going to want to miss this video. Let's get into it. First out of the box, huge shout out to Vanpowers for the awesome shipping. Everything arrived perfectly packed, and while it looks like a lot of parts at first, it wasn't nearly as bad as it seemed. I had it fully assembled in about 35 minutes. Also, this lime green color, super good looking in person. Okay, let me show you around the bike really quick. This is the small frame UrbanGlide Pro. It's designed for riders between 5'1" and 5'8". Personally, I'm 5'6", so this fits me perfectly. It's powered by a 500 watt rear hub motor with a top speed of 20 miles per hour and up to 73 miles of range on a single charge. You've got hydraulic disc brakes, an 8-speed microshift derailleur, pedal assist, and thumb throttle modes, as well as built-in lights. And if you're taller, no worries, it comes in a large frame too. All right, we are about to take this bike to test it out on streets and dirt. Just wanted to introduce, I got my boy Ethan here.
Hello.
Amazing photographer and videographer, and I've also got, you guys all know Jake.
Hey.
Jake McCollum, the YouTube all-star. So, our game plan for testing out the Vanpowers e-bike was simple. Start in Zilker Park and end in downtown Austin. This would allow us to test out the e-bike on cement, dirt, bridges, stairs, crowded areas, basically anywhere and everywhere you would possibly use this e-bike. Then, afterwards, we can review it. Hey! So far we've ridden on cement, we've ridden on wood, on the bridge, we've also ridden on dirt, and in all three scenarios so far, it's felt super smooth. A lot smoother than any of the other e-bikes that I have. Let's keep going and let's head towards the pedestrian bridge to test it out in the city. All right, so far I've been riding this bike for about 20 minutes and we're still at 94%.
You gotta talk about the sheer ease of going down those stairs.
I mean, the pedals were a little bit low, but as far as impact goes, I didn't really feel the impact. It was really just the pedals that got scary. Worked pretty well so far and it's still running, so cool. Let's test it on some more crazy stuff. Oh my god, that was a super fun adventure. Huge shout out to Ethan and Jake for helping me film this episode. And let's just dive into the review. Now, after my adventure with Jake and Ethan, I actually got to go test it out a few more times out on dirt trails and on the street. And so I think I have a pretty holistic view of what I think of this bike. So let's start out with the pros first, because there's a lot to like about this e-bike. Pro number one is the build quality. Taking a closer look at the e-bike, you almost see no welding because this bike has been smoothed down perfectly. Also, the shocks and everything else that I tested out going downstairs and going up hills, it's phenomenal. The LCD screen that it comes with is also not just some stupid black and white screen. It is full color, which is something that I really love. It makes the bike look so much nicer. Next pro on the list is something that I actually didn't show in this video yet because I hadn't had it hooked up to the bike yet, but this bike does come with an app, and the app is awesome. This app tracks all sorts of metrics, including distance, speed, carbon reduction, and battery status while using the bike. Next pro, which I've already kind of shown in this video, but it is super easy to set up, and also added onto that, shipping wise, it comes really nice. I didn't have any damage to the e-bike at all, which past e-bikes that I've gotten, I have had scratches and dents in certain places. This one had none of that because they packaged it so well. Another super pro that I have seen in some e-bikes and some I haven't, which is this one has amazing torque. And in fact, this e-bike has the best torque that I have had in any of my bikes. Now, it will slow down a little bit if you're on a steep enough hill. I actually went on a dirt trail yesterday and it was about this much of an angle and I went full speed and it could only get up to like 6 miles per hour going up it, but it didn't have any problems getting up it. And then once we mostly leveled out, we got right back to 20 miles per hour. With all of those pros wrapped into one, I really want to hit you with one last pro. Now, the price on the website is $1,699. However, they always have sales, so keep checking on their website. But even at $1,699 for what this e-bike does and how good it looks and how well it works, I think it's fully worth that price. Now, having said that though, I do have one con. And that con, at least in my opinion, is the overall size and weight. This thing is pretty heavy to pick up. And although it is super easy to maneuver like through crowds and even to just maneuver if you're walking it or of course riding it, you don't really feel that weight because it's distributed really well. But if you try to put it into a car, it is gonna weigh a little bit, so just be aware of that. But even having said that, I kind of like that the bike is a little bigger because it feels like an actual little vehicle. The only thing that I'm not too psyched on is that it does weigh a lot, but maybe I'm just weak. With all those pros and cons mixed together though, would I suggest this bike to you? You probably know the answer. Of course I would. This bike is the best e-bike that I've ever done on this channel by far, and not just because it has a little bit of a higher price tag. It really is an awesome e-bike. I let Ethan and Jake ride it as well, and both of them said the same thing. The bike is awesome. And if you guys want to pick up this bike for yourself, I will leave a link down in the description below for you to do so. I want to give a huge shout out to Vanpowers for sending me this bike to review and keep for future reviews, because I am going to be riding this everywhere, so expect a lot of new YouTube shorts and YouTube videos in the future covering this bike. And with that, guys, let me know down in the comments if you would buy this bike, and if you want to support me because you like this, or you like me, or you just want to be very friendly. There are a few ways to do that. One being hit that subscribe button, another is hit that like button. And then lastly, if you really thought I showed you some value, there is a thanks button down there where you can donate to the channel, where most of the money just goes right back into making videos like these. I also have a bunch of links down below if you want to go exploring. I've got a Patreon, I've got a full website full of a bunch of different projects and writings and all sorts of stuff, including a book that I wrote. If you want to check any of that out, all of the links are down in the description below. And with that, guys, I'm gonna leave a video right up here that YouTube thinks that you might be interested in. I'm Eric, this is Eric's Tech World, where tech and adventure meet. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.